Hello and welcome back. Today is Thursday, January 15th. I have your 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. We get a fun NBA Thursday, if I have to say myself. We get games all day. We get games at 1 o'clock. We have games at 9:30. We get some great games in between. And the biggest spread on the slate is 7.5 so far. So close spread day, fun NBA action ahead of us. Definitely a lot of injury news I feel like is currently pending out there. So definitely check out, keep an eye out for the top pin comment down below. I could have an added play in the comment section, or make sure to follow my Twitter at DaWiddler, where I'll post pretty much at the same time as I normally do with the pivot plays or added plays when I do as the day goes on if there's injury news that we do not know of. But a fun NBA slate kicking off our day in Germany at 1 o'clock. Kind of like this, but I feel super bad for Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane gets the revenge game in this one, but it's in Germany, so it's going to be the Franz, De Silva, and then Mo show in this one. And then they play the Memphis versus Orlando again, but in London in a few days. So Desmond Bane does not get his revenge game in Memphis, but he gets his revenge game to kick it off today here in Germany. Should be a fun game. 229 over under. Orlando 4.5 point favorite here. I think this opened up at 5.5, now at 4.5. I would have to say I think Orlando wins this with having all these German players on the team, but hey, watch Memphis be a scrappy dog team in this 1 o'clock game. We get Phoenix versus Detroit. Devin Booker from Grand Rapids returning to Michigan. 222 over under. I do see he is questionable for this game, however, but you know who's healthy in this one? Cade Cunningham, Jalen Durant. The Pistons are finally getting healthy at the right time here after I think a few games without Jalen Durant or a few games without Cade Cunningham as well. So 6.5 point favorite. They could tell Duncan Robinson he doesn't need to control the offense anymore. Hey Duncan, you don't need to control the offense. Just need you to splash more threes for this team. We get Boston versus Miami. Always super fun when these two teams played. Feels like they've been playing so much these last few years. 234 over under. Boston 2.5 point favorite here on the road. I believe Tyler Hero and Norman Powell will be playing in this one. So I think this could be a full all skate, everyone's healthy game. Well, Bam Adebayo has owned this matchup in prior games off of my knowledge from this, but did Bam just have an outlier game the most recent game, or is Bam going to continue to be aggressive like he was in the last one? So definitely keep an eye out for him in that matchup. Best game on the slate, chef's kiss. Oklahoma City versus Houston on Amazon Prime. 222 over under. OKC 4.5 point favorite. I think this opened up at 5 or at 7. Now it's moved down a little bit. I think it's going to be all-timer. I think it's going to be a great game. Not an all-timer, but a great game, a great regular season game. OKC's kind of been struggling, but it seems like they've gotten their groove back the last 2 games here. And then Houston, they've been steady, and they've dropped a few games in a row, and Kevin Durant's been a wagon. So always fun to watch the two best go at it. KD, one of the best players in Oklahoma City history, versus SGA, one of the current best current players for Oklahoma City right now overall. But that should be a great game on Prime at 6:30. Milwaukee versus San Antonio. Whose freak is freakier? It's a freak off. It's a Diddy party in this one. Wembanyama versus Giannis Antetokounmpo. Maybe a future team playing his future team, hugging Wemby, hugging all the Spurs players, being like, "Come get me, please, come get me." In that one, Utah versus Dallas. This one is probably the most injury concerning news we don't know of. Both these teams are playing off of back-to-backs in Dallas versus Utah. 236 over under. Should be a great game. Cooper Flagg should be all systems go, but he left last night's game with an injury. Didn't return, so we have no clue what the status is for Cooper Flagg in that one. And I think the Jazz, they didn't have Lauri Markkanen last night. Maybe Lauri Markkanen plays in this back-to-back, but should be interesting to see the injury news coming into that game. Maybe the Najee Marshall game overall. Definitely keep an eye out for that one. Atlanta versus Portland. Whose triple-double machine is more of a triple-double machine? But now I'm remembering Denny is not playing in this one, so never mind on that. Jalen Johnson, the new-look Atlanta Hawks, playing Portland. Drew Holiday returning back from injury, so his minutes probably will continue to bump up as the games go on. Golden State versus the Knicks. This was about to be a chef's kiss game, but Jalen Brunson left last night's game with an injury, so we don't know. It's on Amazon Prime, And Golden State Warriors, they need this. Knicks on a back-to-back here, so I'm interested to see how that game goes. And then we get Charlotte versus the Lakers, a great game, the last game on the slate. 232 over under. If I was Prime, I would do a call and be like, can we switch the Golden State Knicks game to the Charlotte Hornets Lakers game? Because I think the Charlotte Hornets Lakers game is going to be great. Kon Knueppel, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, LaMelo Ball. It should be an amazing matchup overall. So a fun 9-game NBA slate. I got 4 brand new plays here that I absolutely love. And before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action yesterday in the NBA. And I'm going 2-2 in best bets overall. I did have a pivot play, and I shouldn't have. I should have stayed away. Manas Buzelis, he got shadow banned like no fucking other in that game. He had 7 points, and they just yanked him. He played one of those fewest minutes in the last 10 games. I wouldn't even put that was Kobe White. They fucking were putting Patrick Williams out there because they were like, we're paying Patrick Williams so much money. We need him to at least do something once in a while. But it was the Vucevic game overall. Keontae George, and I don't think Trey Jones hit the same game parlay, and then Madas did not as well. Lauri Markkanen was running from the smoke because he knew he was going to drop 50, so he was like, I'm going to take myself out of the running in this game. Donovan Mitchell, he was impressive last night, and so was Jamal Murray. Both of those guys went absolutely bonkers. Jamal Murray almost did it with just points or just points alone in that game. But 2-2 day, I'm not satisfied. Not the best day. Today is a brand new day, and let's just jump into it for my first play of the day at this 1 o'clock game, Memphis versus Orlando. I've been struggling. I've been looking at it. It's in Germany, so it should be Franz Wagner. It should be easily Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner should be the play. Franz Wagner should be the play. I'm probably going to watch this back and be like, I fucking knew it. I knew Franz Wagner was the play here. Playing in Germany, but he's returning from injury. First game returning from injury. Last time he played return from injury last season, he only played 20 minutes in that game. So I think he's going to be on a minutes restriction in this matchup. And then Desmond Bane, he doesn't get the revenge game. I think this one he does in the first one. If he doesn't do it in this one, you bet your ass I'm betting him in the next one. So give me Desmond Bane to get 20 plus points, coming minus 114 on DraftKings. Memphis, they allow the 6th most threes and to the shooting guard position. Memphis on the season allows the 5th most threes to the shooting guard position. And this is a revenge game I've never seen one. Desmond Bane just got traded away for a few first-round picks. Now he gets this matchup here where he's coming in this matchup doing pretty well. 3 for his last 5, averaging 21 points per game, having 31, 15, 9, 23, and 27. However, Franz Wagner is returning in this matchup, but there is no Jalen Suggs. Without Jalen Suggs in the lineup, he has a 53% hit rate on this number, going over 6 for his last 10 games, averaging 20.5 points per game. Memphis allows the 23rd most straightaway threes, so that was my big reason why I like this, because Memphis, they struggle versus the three-point shooters, allowing the 23rd most straightaway threes, where Desmond Bane takes 30% of his shots from that spot. So coming in this game, he has a nice little 2K hot zone that I love to talk about. Memphis is 22nd versus pick and roll ball handlers. That's where Desmond Bane gets 20% of his points from. So he's a nice action coming into this game with the pick and roll. And they struggle versus three-point shooters, so he can stop, pop, and shoot a 3 in this matchup. Shooting guards versus Memphis have had some pretty big games here. Caruso, 7. Lou Dort, 13. Grayson Allen, 19. Smart, 13. Grimes, 11. VJ Edgecombe, 25. Trey Johnson, 14. Bailey, 17. And Dante DiVincenzo, 19. I have a projected here at 21 plus points here in this revenge game here. I love myself a little narrative going to a game. And nothing bigger than this. It's going to be the Desmond Bane show, I assume here. Franz should have a pretty good game, but I expect him to be on a minutes restriction, and I expect Bane to shoot every single shot when Franz is not on the court. So it can be Desmond Bane to score 20 plus points, coming minus 114 on DraftKings. Jump to my second play here in this Pistons Phoenix Suns matchup, and the Detroit kid is returning home. He is questionable coming in this game, but I think he suits it up because there's nothing beats like playing at home. And Devin Booker's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now he plays the Pistons, where he loves to play in Detroit. So give me Devin Booker to score 25 plus points, coming minus 110 on DraftKings. Detroit on the season allows the 11th most points to the shooting guard position, and now they get the hometown kid returning in this game. Last 2 games he's played in, he's gone over 1 for his last 2 against the Pistons overall, averaging 21 points per game, having 7 and 35 in the most recent game. And the most recent game was in Detroit, where he had 35. He's only played 2 games since 2022 in Detroit. Most recent one, 35. The other one, he scored 30 points in that game. So back-to-back 30-plus point games when he plays in Michigan in those games. And he's kind of struggling for his last 10, averaging 24.3 points per game. But nothing cures your shooting woes like returning home. He's going to have a lot of his friends and family in the crowd for this matchup. Detroit is 23rd in points allowed in the paint, where Devin Booker gets 30% of his shots. So a nice little 2K hot zone coming into this matchup. And Detroit, they struggle. They foul a lot. They allow the 30th most free throw attempts in the league. And Devin Booker, you know him, he'll complain his ass off for free throw attempts, and he gets 22% of his points from the free throw line. So coming into this game, he should have a good free throw. He's going to hit those middle middies, so maybe he hits a midi, gets a nice little and one, and we can continue to hit the free throw there. I have him projected here at 26-plus points in this matchup here. Shooting guards versus Detroit have sneakily been pretty good these last few games. Ayo Dosunmu, 24. Clarkson, 8. Donovan Mitchell, 30. Norman Powell, 36. Similar kind of player. Same with Donovan Mitchell, 30, 36. DeMar, 37. Another fellow mid-range shooting player, 37. Najee Marshall, 16. Daniels, 18. Kevin Porter Jr., 32. Shaedon Sharpe, 28. Denny, 35. Tyler Hero, 24. And then Desmond Bane, 37. All kind of like the similar archetype to Devin Booker. A few of them are Mitchell, Powell, Bane, and I would say DeMar with the mid-range, and Denny and Sharpe, kind of similar players, explosive. Devin Booker can get a shot from anywhere on the court here. Loves playing in Detroit. Last 2 games in Detroit, where he grew up, 35 and 30 in those games. I'm a sucker for a narrative, so give me Devin Booker to go over 24.5 points, coming minus 110 on DraftKings. Jump to my third play here in this amazing game, Oklahoma City versus Houston, 222. Over under, Oklahoma City 4.5 point favorite here on Amazon Prime. And Kevin Durant, I think this time around has an amazing game. You know me, I would love to take the SGA 30-plus points, but I think Kevin Durant in this one has a great game. He's been playing a lot of minutes. He's shooting the ball more in these games, and this is a big-time, prime-time game at home. I think Kevin Durant steps it up big, so give me KD to go over 24.5 points, coming minus 102 on FanDuel. Oklahoma City, they struggle with three-point shooting, small forwards. Oklahoma City allows the 4th most threes to the small forward position. Oklahoma allows the 2nd most threes to the small forward position in the last 15 games. Then these last 7 games, allowing the 3rd most threes to the small forward position. He's only gotten this over 2 for his last 4, averaging 24.3 points per game, with the most recent game him having 23 points at the start of the season. If you remember, Şengün went absolutely nuclear. He scored 39-plus points in that game. He shot everything late in the game, where Kevin Durant, he shot 0 for 4 from 3. He shot 50%, only took 15 shots in the game, and still finished with 23-plus points in that game, where Kevin Durant, these last 10 games, he's been a different player. 8 for his last 10, averaging 28.5 points per game, with the last 5 games him having 26, 37, 30, 23, and 28 in the most recent matchup here. He's playing 38-plus minutes. He's getting full go minutes, and he's nearly taking 21 field goal attempts per game. So you're telling me from the first time they played back in November, when the first matchup of this game, where he took 15 or 16 shots, I can't remember, either or, I didn't write it down, 15 or 16, one of those two numbers, shots, and now he's averaging 21 field goal attempts per game. That's 6 more field goal attempts opportunities in this matchup. When KD takes 17-plus shots in a game, he gets the over 70% of the time, averaging 29 points per game. And he went over 2 for his last 2. The last 2 times he's taken 17-plus shots in both games. So we love that. Last 10 games, averaging nearly 20 field goal attempts per game. So 3 more shot opportunities and 3 less opportunities. He's a 70% hit rate. So I think it's overall a great matchup for Kevin Durant in this one. Oklahoma City is 25th versus straightaway three-point shooters, where the last 10 games Kevin Durant has taken 30% of his shots from, so we love that. He's taking more threes these last few games. And Oklahoma City is 30th versus spot-up shooters, and Kevin Durant gets 17% of his points in the spot-up motion, so we love that. I have him projected here at 28-plus points. I think it's going to be a classic Kevin Durant game here at home. Small forwards versus Oklahoma City have had some pretty big games. Champagnie, 13. Larson, 16. Kon Knueppel, 23. Dylan Brooks, 22. Willie Richards, 13. Chris Murray, 10. Vic Krejci, 18. Vassell, 17. Keldon Johnson, 25. And Kawhi, 22 in the most recent game. Again, projected 28 points in this game here. I think Kevin Durant, 8 for his last 10. He's been on fire these last few games here. I think this has gone down a little bit because they're They think Oklahoma City's defense is going to be very, very stout in this one. I think they will, but I think Kevin Durant will be better in this one. So give me Kevin Durant to go over 24.5 points, coming minus 102 on FanDuel. You could definitely wait around a little bit too. I bet this you could get an alt line on FanDuel with this one, where you go like the alt points, and I bet you can easily get 23.5 points later on. But I'm feeling confident with him. 25 again, projected 28 plus points. And then for my fourth and final play of the day in this Charlotte Lakers matchup here, and Kon Knueppel on the road has been a wagon all season. He has an amazing matchup here today. So give me Kon Knueppel, the rookie of the year, to go over 17.5 points, coming minus 119 on DraftKings. The Lakers, they allow the second most points and the ninth most threes to the small forward position. The Lakers, these last 15 games, allowed the most points and the third most threes to the small forward position. Then these last 7 games, the Lakers, they give up the most points and the fifth most threes to the small forward position. So this is a great matchup for Kon Knueppel. He did play them earlier this season, back in November. He had 18 plus points in that game. And Kon Knueppel has gone over 7 for his last 10 games overall, averaging 18.1 points per game. With the last 5 games, him having 23, 11, 18, 12, and 18. So he gets it right on that money with the 18 plus points. But why I love this so much is 81% hit rate on the road. He's an incredible player on the road. He stays consistent overall. 81% hit rate on the road, averaging 21.3 points per game. On the road, has an amazing matchup. Again, the Lakers, last 15 games, the most points and the third most threes. The Lakers, they allowed the 24th most transition points, where Kon Knueppel gets 17% of his points in that action. And the Lakers, they're 15th at defending spot-up shooters, where Kon Knueppel gets 30% of his points from. I have it projected here at 20-plus points in this game. Small forwards versus the Lakers have had some massive games. Corey Crisper, a player that's kind of similar to Kon Knueppel, maybe a step down than him, had 19. DeMar, 32. AJ Green, 11. Keldon, 27. Trey Murphy, player that's similar, maybe not as lengthy and tall or the down low physicalness, where Trey Murphy's a great all-around player. Where the shooting-wise, he had 42. Wells, 23. DeMar, 22. Brooks, 25. KD, 25. Kawhi, 32. Jaylen Brown, 30. And then Brooks, 33. They've been struggling versus small forwards all season, and I think Kon is just the next player in line. So give me Kon Knueppel to go over 17.5 points, coming minus 119 on DraftKings. And those are my 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, let me know down below what's your best bet. I always love to tell you guys in the comment section. Definitely keep an eye out for a pin comment if I do have an added play, because we'll get some early NBA action, and I'll know if I'm tailing. But I'll know right away if it was the Franz or the Bane. So let me know if you're on the Bane or Franz side in this one, or watch you be a sneakily Mo Wagner player in this one. But a fun 9-game NBA slate here on this Thursday. It's a great NBA day overall. Hopefully having a wonderful Thursday. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one.